Hey kids, welcome to Stylish Rumble Rant Time thing. So, I was about to go to bed, so if I look like a hot mess. Oh, and I'm growing out my hair because my friend's getting married and we want to do this hair thing. So, I'm going to be wearing hats and stuff for a little while because curly hair just gets big. But that's not why I'm here. I'm here because, like I said, I was on my way to bed. But I got into a conversation online about TV animation versus feature. James knows what I'm talking about. Started getting a little bit lippy with some stranger on the internet. But, okay, now here's the thing. Here's why I came here in the first place. I animate TV. And I've done some web series and stuff and some commercials, but I don't want to work in feature. I'm not biding my time till I get to feature. I'm not doing the best I can because feature won't take me. I don't want to be a feature animator. That's not my goal, and it doesn't need to be a goal. It's okay to want to make TV shows. I love TV. I grew up on TV. We couldn't afford to go all the way to town, drive out into the big city so we could see a movie. We just didn't. We had whatever was on TV. So I grew up watching, the regular 90s stuff, the Gargoyles. So good. I like Goliath was my best friend. Lexington. Guy, I love Reboot. So I was there for the very beginning of 3D animation where these plasticky looking things were. But I love that show. It looked awful. Looks really bad, but it was so good. The story was so good. And I grew up on the older stuff, the Looney Tunes. I love Looney Tunes, Animaniacs, and I love Biker Mice from Mars. I love all of those shows where it's just like random thing, animal. So it's like Street Sharks, Biker Mice, Pizza Cats. I love all of them. All of them are so good, okay? So I'm here on purpose. I am a TV animator because that's what I want to do. I don't want to work for Disney. I don't want to work for Pixar. I don't want to spend 3 years on one product. That's crazy. I want 2 weeks to bust out as much crazy effects animation as I can while I just chug down coffee and barely get any sleep because that's what I love to do. And I love TV. I love that you get hours and hours to fill in with content. Not enough shows are like sequential where it has an ongoing storyline, like The Last Airbender, which is like the best series ever. Oh, and Troll Hunters, which is so good. It's just so good. But there's more coming out because of Netflix and streaming stuff. So the broadcasters are starting to say, okay, it's not as much of a difficulty to sell these shows, so we're getting more, and that's just the best. But there's nothing wrong with episodic shows. Shows that just like kind of piecemeal here and there. I love a lot of those ones. I'm a huge Bugs Bunny fan. I think he's just the best. The Roadrunner and the Coyote, it's just like 2 minutes of like the stupidest, most funny stuff ever. And it's 2 minutes long. And it's not a feature. It doesn't mean top shelf quality. It's just good and wholesome and funny. And those are the shows I like to work on. I like to work on shows that know they're cartoons and they love to just dive in there and do stupid stuff and be wacky and zany and go where live action can't. That's the thing about feature nowadays. They're all so safe. You got Romeo and Juliet. What is that? You got Megamind, which is just like a boy-girl. Like, it's just, there's no cartoon in that. Why was that even a cartoon? And you've got Gems. You've got Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, which not only has some of the funniest cartoony animation in 3D, but it's also just the coolest story. And they go completely bonkers. They're like, we can make food rain from the sky! And then the feature down the road's like, oh, we got a boy-girl story. It doesn't need to be. You got Monster House? Don't come here with Monster House telling me that that film is better than television. You get out! You get out of my house! You don't belong here. And I hope that 2D comes back into feature, because I'm a 2D snob. I love 2D. I do watch 3D. And, I pick on my 3D colleagues. I'm like, 3D so 3D. But I watch it. I love it. I mean, I was watching Coco and just sobbing hysterically. So I'm not anti-3D because that's not my jam. Because that's just a jerky, crappy way to be. Don't be that person. Don't be like, oh, you like 3D? Well, that means you're not as good as me. Like, pick on your friends because it's fun, but do it in a fun way. Don't be a jerk. Don't go up to the anime kid and tell him that his fun is wrong. Don't be that guy. One of the things that's going around lately is they talk about how you shouldn't draw anime because it'll ruin you or something like that. And people are always getting down on the furry community because they do weird stuff. And I just want to say, like, if you like something, like it so much. Get the bedspread, put the posters up, wear t-shirts. If you like stuff, like it. And who cares what other people think? And if you don't like something, just shut up. Nobody cares if you don't like something. The thing I love the most is when a person loves something unironically. They just love it. They're like, man, I just love teapots so much. My whole house is teapot themed. Or, you know, they love this one obscure cartoon from Germany. They based their entire life around it. Their wedding theme is this, like, obscure cartoon that nobody's ever heard of. So there's a downside to, if you want to be professional, if you want to work as an artist, there is a downside to putting all your eggs in one basket at times. Because, I mean, if you become the primo furry wolf, I don't know a lot about it, but if you're the best, you can just do that. You can just be the best at that. That's fine. If you want to work in animation, it's good to have a little bit more range, because it's not necessarily going to be just that one thing that you could do forever. There's that. There's also a lot of just miserable old jerks around who are going to look at your portfolio and go, oh, they only do furry, so they can't do anything else. And that's dumb. That's super dumb. So if you like anime, draw the anime you like. Draw the guts out of it. Draw all of the anime. I would recommend doing other things too, like learning the fundamentals just from a different angle, because personally, I find sometimes learning something from a different perspective can help you learn it a lot faster. The one example I always give is that perspective wasn't a real easy thing for me. I like drawing organic things. And so I usually drew characters. I was one of those people that drew people all the time. And then I had to draw a car for whatever reason, and it was so hard. So what I did was I just drew like 50 cars. I'm like, I'm just gonna draw the guts out of cars until it's not a struggle anymore, until I start getting those proportions down. I start understanding what all the pieces are supposed to look like, how far the wheel is from the front and the back, like things that's just, because I don't draw a lot of it, it wasn't in my brain, so I had to do a lot of it. So then I did that, and I was like, okay, I'm satisfied now. If someone needs me to draw a mid-sized sedan, I could do that without breaking my brain or the time budget that I'm allotted. So then I went back to drawing my characters, and it was so much easier. I was like, wait a minute. People are curved forms in space, and cars are curved forms in space, and somehow all those perspective studies have helped me learn to do the thing I love to do even better. Wow, I never thought about drawing something that isn't the thing I like to get better at it. But if you don't want to be professional, do it if you want. Do whatever. Doesn't matter. And like whatever you like. Don't tell people their fun is wrong. And as long as they're not hurting anybody, they're not causing the world to be a worse place. I mean, if your favorite thing is that you have an insatiable hunger for hands, maybe find crochet. Try something else. But if you like to just tell love stories in some alternative way, or you like to draw in a different style than somebody else, like, just do that. And if you don't like somebody else's favorite thing, shut up. Just shut up. Just stop. Just take your little opinion of it and just don't share it. You know what you could say? You could say, oh, that's not my jam. I like this other thing. Do you like this thing as well? Or you could say, oh, I never got into that. What is it that appeals to you about this thing that I don't like, so I've never bothered to see why it's good? And then the same people who are like, oh, the furries, they're watching Mickey Mouse. And then being like, oh, furries are gross. Mickey Mouse is an anthropomorphic mouse. Goofy is a dog. Donald Duck is a duck. Like, so you hate just every animal? You hate Winnie the Pooh and Tigger? You hate them? All of them? Every single cartoon animal that's ever existed? You actively hate them? Go get a hobby. Maybe find joy in the world instead of just knocking down other people's fun. How about that? So there's that. That's my rant. catching Jamie on fire in the background. I should probably have mentioned that. I'm really busy. I'm going from one project to another project right now, and I'm working on some tests at the same time. So I don't have a lot of time to do like dedicated videos about learning or using my brain. So no idea what next week's gonna be, but I just had to say this because there's a lot of cartoon hate going around about different styles, about the new Thundercats, and everybody's all in a big huff, and they're being mean, and they're being mean to the Star Wars lady. I can't remember her name because I'm a Star Trek person. But you know what? My husband's a Star Wars person, and his friends are Star Wars people, and somehow we can coexist in life without just trashing each other's joy. Somehow. Through the miracle of Canadianism. I don't know what it is. So, be kind. If you don't like something, shut up. Find something you do love, and love the guts out of it. Love it so hard. And don't be embarrassed that you like a thing, because you probably like it because it brings you joy, and joy is good. So, share the joy. Okay, bye. I'm going to bed now.